The paranoia factor's through the roof with this next video, because it was recorded at about 2 in the morning, which is when I'm dead tired and completely on edge, much like when I'm recording this line right now. Head to greenmangaming.com and maybe you could help me with that. Exact date unknown. 1969. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter was preparing to give a speech at a Lions Club meeting. One of the guests called his attention to a strange object, visible about 30 degrees above the horizon. Carter described the object as being bright white, about as bright as the moon, self-illuminated, and not solid in nature. His report indicates that it was witnessed by about 10 to 12 other people and was in view for 10 to 12 minutes before passing out of sight. According to an investigation carried out 7 years later, most of those present at the meeting either did not recall the event or did not recall it as being anything important. To this day, the mystery remains unsolved. Hello, audience. So, this game feels like the graveyard shift at a science observatory, and so I figured we should try to capture that feeling, and that's why we're playing the game today at 1:30 a.m. So, I've gone ahead and, in the middle of the night, so let's go ahead and just shut everything down. Shut down the audio. And just settle right in for the evening. Or the day. I don't know. Sun could be coming up right in the next couple seconds here. In the meantime, let's see what we can upgrade. A coordinate range would be very helpful. Here's the paper. Okay, pen. There we are. So we got both recharge and efficiency upgraded. We should also look into, how about antenna detection? Yes. And that's it, we're broke. I guess we'll just sit here and wait for us to go bankrupt.
Get to each of the rest of you. You can tell us more about your individual roles on this mission, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Okay, great. Stephanie, thank you very much. Now this, as you can see, this rover has a lot to do for its jobs, and one of the, there's a lot of challenges we've had. I mean, one of the, obviously the challenge of landing on another planet is a huge challenge, but remarkably, you have to consider this rover is actually what's flying the vehicle right now as we're approaching Mars. The rover is doing this stuff. This rover is an interplanetary navigator. It's flying across space. It knows where it is. It's controlling its temperatures. It's keeping itself comfortable, cool, and not too hot in certain places, and not too warm in other places. And it's doing it all the time.
It's 9/11.
Doing it. And guess what? This rover has to transform, as you've seen, from being an interplanetary space traveler to a hypersonic pilot that has to fly through the atmosphere and literally fly, and Adam will tell you more about this, fly for the first time.
Here we go.
Actually, it's controlling itself and steering the way to Mars. And finally, it's going to be like a helicopter pilot as well as a parachutist.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alexa, set a timer for 2.5 minutes.
2 minutes and 30 seconds, starting now.
I'll take that 202.8 and that 295.9. 295.9. Oh, wait, 309.1. Gotcha. 309.1, locked in. That's 208.6, 295.2. You could go higher than that, I saw it. 202.7, got it. Let's just get that tiny bit more accurate. 292, 305, 216. See, I know you can go lower than that. 309, 209, 306. You've gone higher than that. 225, 207, 306. No errors. 207, 306. You're still on the 306. You're really sticking with the 306. There we go, 297. I guess it went out of range. 310.9. Got it, locked in. 203 point something. Either way, it was too high. 309.4. 203 point. You've gone lower than that. I know you've gone lower than that. I saw it. 203.2. You just went up. 293. 278. 222. 209. 292. I think we could call it with these numbers. 220, 221. Yeah, it is not being very helpful this evening. Alexa, stop. Alright, I'm gonna do something we probably shouldn't and actually turn that off so we can try and save some electricity. But I'm going to plug in the numbers regardless, so that is 202.7 minus 310.9 gives us 108.2 divided by 2 is 54.1. So we take our 54.1 plus 202.7, we get 256.8. $256.8. Hey, the sun's coming up. Thank goodness. Well, that's taking forever to move. Let's go clean those solar panels. Brilliant. I'm also thinking we could use the money that we get from whatever this signal is, hopefully we get it, to get some fuel for the generator. Breathe some life into this place. I think we're gonna need the power boost. Push comes to shove, we just ignore one signal and, like, just let the power boot back up naturally. Do other things around the base, like, I don't know, look for secrets. We've been finding those. You know, it'd be super creepy if we look at one of these railings and there's just someone standing on one. That would be the next step, wouldn't it? I also noticed that the crickets turn off at, like, during the day. Like, the moment it hits day, no more crickets. Like, bam! They go somewhere. Alright, we're getting some recharge. Brilliant. That is exactly what we need. In true late-night fashion, I have a cup of ramen. Why is the elevation speed down? Or the azimuth speed at this point? Ah, it's slowly trying to get back up. There we go. Moving to a higher azimuth. So that is 1, 2, 3. We can move by a factor of 3, but not much else. Make sure the sound is on. We don't want to miss it. Speaking of the computers, hang on. Eesh. Just to make sure. Let's just be thorough with this. Still nothing. We are in the correct thing, yeah? I'm pretty sure we have our coordinates right. So once we get further along the line here, I start to get worried. Like we're getting down to 48 and 45. It's about the halfway point, actually. Not really, we're not counting for the last 10. $90 minus 35 is 55? Is that math correct? Yes, it is. Come on, money. And money. And money. For fuck's sake. Work with me here. And money. damn it. Money? Money? Money. Hey, it's a mini Neptune. Not a lot of data. Natural space noises. Or planet sounds, I guess. I'm not entirely sure how radio telescopes work. This is relatively normal. Oh, for fuck's sake, really? Are you fucking kidding me? You guys are assholes. Tech, please. Fuel. Okay. I'm gonna go dump that in the generator. Good. We need that boost today. Also go ahead and shut everything down. Let's do this. Okay, that's good. We just start at 10 elevation, we can work our way across the spectrum. Start from the bottom, work our way up. Is this coffee still? Oh yeah, that coffee's still. Well, I guess I could count this as a success. Great. I only got 4 credits out of that crap. Game needs to stop screwing us over. I noticed that the coordinate detection is going down. Ugh. Oh my god. It tastes alive. It's brilliant. That'll work.
Really exciting. I keep doing these checks. I look around at the team to see if they're sitting on the edge of their chairs, and I'm reassured that they all look happy and relatively comfortable. So we'll see when we get a little bit closer. But I want to thank all of you for your participation and being engaged. And from my perspective, I can take 0 credit for anything on the Mars Science Laboratory and the Curiosity rover, other than being really excited about it and trying to share that excitement with the rest of the folks at NASA headquarters, the 18,000 NASA employees, the 40,000 NASA contractors, and several billion people on planet Earth at least that we're hoping to excite about this, because I think this is the science event, if not the human event, for space of the decade. And because it's going to start 2 years or more of exploration of Mars in a way that we've never been able to do before. Now,
Well,
this is
it's
as
been
close
up there
as we
for
can
like,
get
what,
to
8
sending,
now?
a gal or a guy, geologist,
6 maybe.
astrobiologist to the surface. And so I'm really excited about that.
Something
Of course, there is
somewhere
that
around
little detail of the 7 minutes of terror that you've been hearing about, and parachute dynamics, and probably shock loads. Any shock load discussion yet? Okay, shock loads, and 76 pyrotechnic
Thank you
miracles,
for your services,
and
Mr.
sequencers,
Generator.
and
You're free to
rockets,
go.
and gently setting down on the surface, which maybe you'll get to in a minute. But your efforts, NASA Social, is just great to use the technology, so much which has come from the space program, to extend the public engagement. And so your excitement, your ability to share that excitement is really crucial, so that we can have the maximum possible engagement, which will then allow people to learn more about Mars, more about science, more about the world that we live on. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think I'm going to be back Sunday.
Here we go. Keep scrolling. Way up towards the top of the spectrum. Nice. Alexa, set a timer for 2.5 minutes.
2 minutes and 30 seconds, starting now.
I'll take that 196.6. And I guess that 247? 268, I mean? And there's a 176.1. 270.9. 271.4. 271.4. 180.6. Got it. 178.0. 178 exact. 172, you've gone lower. 272.8. That's good, because the 4 that I wrote down was ridiculous. 176.0. 176 exact. Got it. Locked in. 172. Okay. Sure. Why not? 256, you've gone higher. 265, you've still gone higher. Give me something I haven't seen before. I think there was a 274, I just wasn't paying attention. It's worth checking the playback. Alright, well that was a brilliant way to waste a minute, so Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
Thank you. We're gonna keep rolling with this. 272.3. You've gone slightly higher than that. I've seen it. 181. No errors, right? No errors. 261. 181. 174. Oh my god. I need more of that. 268. You've gone higher than all of these numbers. 189. You've gone so much lower than that. 272. I don't think we're getting higher than 272. 188. Alexa, stop. I guess these are the numbers we're rolling with. Alright. Nice clean numbers this time. Nothing scribbled out. So that's 172. 172. It didn't put in the 1. Minus 272.8. Which is negative 108. Divide by 2 is 50.4. I can't think straight. I mean, I know what it equaled. It was just... Alright, so that's 54.4 plus our 172. I messed that up again. 50.4 plus that 172 equals 222.4. 2.4. Hey, we're at 2.0 for 2, so on, something. That means we can go by our factor of 4, get this done quicker. It'll be there in a couple seconds. Wow. That really does move, doesn't it? Okay. Sound, please. Let's rock. Nothing. We got a really low minimum, though. Made a good decision starting all the way at the bottom. Okay. There's money hidden here somewhere. Damn it. And that's only going up, so we can keep doing this. Wait, that's it. Oh, it's a double star! Nice! It's not a lot of data, though. That's a peculiar noise. Sounds like... I don't know what that sounds like. The pattern's irregular, though. Aliens? Are they talking to us? Come on, 336. 336, you can do it. 98, 99, boom! 10 credits. Thank you, voice, for your minimal contribution to my day. RTDDU, yeah, I think it's just noise. We still got it, right? Well, we hit the nail on the head with that one. I'll leave the server running. I'm gonna go clean the panels. Is someone standing on my things? I don't think so. At least, not that I can tell. Okay. We need as much electricity here as possible, so... Let's do this. And bam. Plenty of power now. And that one was already done moving, so it isn't allowed to freak me out. Score. Alright. How much you want to bet if we go exploring, we're gonna stumble across something crazy? Like something in one of the server rooms or some shit. let's try antenna number 3. It dragged us out to antenna number 2 the other night. Now, that might have just been coincidence. But I also want to check the top part. Maybe I'm crazy. I also want to check the top parts of every single one of these. Just to be sure. Also, I swear I heard a noise. I see what's going on here. Secretly, this is a horror game. Secretly. Oh my god, that's good. That's good coffee. Calm my nerves. Yes. Oh, that's some diagnostics. Oh no. Conveniently, we are at antenna server 2. Temp check. Activate the turbo. Good. Speaking of turbo, why am I so sweaty? This always happens once I get that, the moment I get out of the shower. I start to sweat. Wait, is that a... That might just be a rock, but okay, I'll play along. What is it, game? You trying to scare me with this? Yeah, it's just a plant. Oh my god. How about the roof? See anything from the roof? The guy that works here is like the kind of guy that goes home and all of his friends think he's crazy. Because he is. Poor bastard. He has to hole up at a radio observatory all day. It's the only way the aliens can talk to us. Worrying about those space explorer guys. Like, are they okay? What the hell happened? We still got signal? You kidding me? It's still coming through. Oh, nice. We're at 100% again. Brilliant.
A lot more by many students. There are people at Stanford, Georgia Tech, Caltech, other places all over thinking about this problem, and there's money being spent on research on how to slow down a big vehicle before hitting the ground, which is the key part. of landing on Mars. So there are
parachute,
great technologies.
dumbass.
There's supersonic retropropulsion. That there's hypersonic inflatables. There are supersonic inflatables. There are deployable heat shield architectures. There's all these different tricks to get something big to slow down that are being worked on right now in laboratories. But it's still, as Adam said, we don't have the answer. It's something we're still working on. But the good news is that it's inspired a lot of young aerospace engineers to actually work on it, and they're doing a fantastic job.
And the other thing we're doing is we also need to characterize what is the environment going to be like for future human visitors. So we have instruments on board that help us understand that environment. We have a radiation detector that if we get a solar flare, it can see what the spike is and exactly how much, and that would help future missions understand what kind of countermeasures have to be developed. We also have a little weather station, and that'll tell us local temperatures. The temperatures on Mars, of course, are very extreme, winds, those kinds of things.
Okay, we've gotten word that Kennedy is back on the line and standing by. So KSC, go ahead with your question.
Hey everyone, thanks for taking my question. First off, your energy is awesome, and it just really infects everyone to be inspired and try and get even more people excited about all of this space exploration. My question is actually about the Deep Space Network and the autonomy of the rover. With the demand of all the different science missions going on in our solar system and somewhat out, the Deep Space Network finds a lot of attacks, I believe, that you don't have time to talk everything in close to real time. So what is the longest delay you can have in contact with the rover before it runs out of things to do? And thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
The longest time, well, it depends on what we've got unloaded on board. Typically, we have a full soul's worth of activities. Plus, if we don't talk to it, it'll run out to the next day and do a few more activities before starting to twiddle its thumbs. And what it does is eventually, after a time of not hearing from the vehicle, the software will say, you know what, I haven't heard from Earth for a long time. I better hunker down and get myself into a safe mode because I don't know what's going on. It uses the communication windows. I mean, remember now it can still talk to these orbiters that fly overhead, both Odyssey and Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, but it's usually on the order of a few days before before it starts doing something on its own autonomously because it's worried about not getting contact. And that's when it starts taking things like trying different configurations of radios to see maybe it's not hearing from me because it can't hear from me. So it tries to make contact with Earth on its own. But generally speaking, we'll have a couple days worth of activities pre-programmed.
Trying to do that right now?
But every morning, in the coming weeks, our plan is to get those activities kick-started from here on Earth every sol. That answered the question, I think?
Yeah, but I'll add that there's tremendous communication opportunities. As Ashwin mentioned earlier, every morning on Mars we'll radio up the set of instructions for that day, but it doesn't end there, of course, because we're taking all the science data imagery throughout the day, and that gets relayed back, and twice a day each orbiter has an opportunity to come over. There's AM passes and PM passes, and we get all that great science data and engineering data downlink. So we actually expect to have quite a bit of data to keep ourselves safe and planning the mission.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and toss it back to Glenn Research Center now. So Glenn, go ahead with your question.
Hi, my name is David Miller, and I'm a chemist here in Northeast Ohio.
Hi,
my
Miller.
daughter has been involved with Science Olympiad for the past 2 years in the egg drop event. And Mars Curiosity seems like a very expensive egg drop. I got two questions. The first, do you guys have any suggestions for her next year? Her egg broke last year, but not the first year. And also, what would you guys say to encourage girls to go in the fields of science and math?
How old is...
Oh my God, it's still on the line. What the hell?
Anybody got a good tip for the egg?
Well, not our system, because hydrazine probably would not go
super
well.
not.
Just turn it off.
Yeah, in general, rockets, I don't think they allow that.
And airbags don't work well on Earth, I can tell you that. They work better in vacuums, but they're more compressible. So don't use airbags either.
Right.
They get pretty stiff very quickly.
She can hard boil it.
Hard-boiled egg. That is brilliant.
Hard-boiled the rover.
Hard-boiled. No, yeah. What I recommend for my daughter was to wrap it in sand and put it in a bag. So the trick is keeping it in the
2,
middle
4,
when it
6,
flies.
8.
But it
You've
lands,
been
the pressure
staying up too
is
late.
equally distributed around the egg as the sand compresses on the egg. But that sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. So as we learned with my daughter, it didn't work so well.
So what I do with my daughter I don't necessarily try and encourage her to be a scientist or an engineer particularly, but what I really want for her and for her life is that she gets to choose where she wants to go, and that the world is accepting and exciting for her in any of the dimensions that she may go. And so I just try.
You know, it's talk like that started the whole social justice warrior movement, and we all know that that's going out of control.
And I used to think that math was hard, and then I found out that I could kick math's nappy little tush. I think that's safe to say.
We've been doing that all night.
Got turned on. So that's the big message that I give my daughter Caledonia, is that find what you're fired up about and dig into it, and there isn't anything that will stop you.
Well, as a woman, I'd like to say that there definitely needs to be more women in science, engineering, and technology. And so I'm happy to say I actually teach at USC as well. But now the school is becoming, at least in the astronautics department, around 50-50 girls and boys, which is finally a wonderful thing. But basically, you have to kind of...
Wow, 50 and 50. Actually equal for once.
They be medical doctors or engineers or scientists. You have to encourage her to take as many math and science classes as she can, to get involved in research projects, after school, in summer programs, just to always keep her motivated. And I think the big challenge, at least for me when I was growing up, is there weren't enough female role models in science and engineering, in terms of university departments, even in their work environment. So getting her exposed to other females who are in those jobs is a great thing. And you can do that, make contacts by email, make contacts, via any sort of social media outlet, so she can follow that stuff. But certainly, NASA and all of the space agencies.
Where's that light coming from? I think it's still reflecting off the sun. Okay. False alarm.
Goddard Space.
Oh, hi, yes. My name is Gavin St. Hours. And my question is, once you settled on the crane design, what was the testing process like on Earth? What were some of the practical things you did when you actually had to build?
Dear phone callers, don't make your fucking phone call in the fucking hallway.
Is up here, and the tethers are between. The system itself physically is kind of divided into a part that's very testable, the rover's interaction with the surface, and a part that's very analyzable. That descent stage up at top, with the tethers coming up right into the center, has very few forces acting on it. And so we are very comfortable understanding its behavior by analysis and simulation. And so we built ourselves a rover, and we tested it. We landed it on our best version of Mars dozens of times, our worst nightmare of Mars dozens of times, huge rocks, big trenches. All the time it was a very boring experience. It just goes flablunk, because that rover is made to conform to the Martian terrain. And so if you can drive on it, we can land on it, and there's a beautiful symmetry there. So we tested a lot. Short answer to your question, we tested the rover itself a lot with a touchdown, and then we analyzed and simulated in computers the behavior of the descent stage a lot.
And I'll mention for the field test campaign, we didn't just immediately come up with that. We looked at dozens of different ways to try to test the landing radar, from pushing parachute-laden pallet out of a back of a cargo airplane to various types of aircraft before settling on. We needed to, there's no single venue that would allow you to go all the way from the parachute just after heat shield SEP all the way down to touchdown. And so you had to break it up into pieces. A helicopter can only get up to 10,000 feet, but it's best for going all the way down to the ground. ground, and the F-18, could come down to, for some reason, the F-18 pilots don't like being inverted towards the ground below, 4,000 feet. So we had to keep them, more outside. So it's getting the combination of those together that allowed us to do the whole campaign. And the radar testing all went great. We I recall one day we had a helicopter flight out by Amboy Crater, and the data analysis came back the next day, and they said, we saw a sudden velocity spike. What's going on? Is something wrong with the radar? And we went back, we had cold bore-sighted cameras. So we went and looked at the cameras. Turns out the helicopter flew over a moving train. And so we said, oh, great, we're definitely detecting velocity.
Okay, there we go. There it is. Got it. Alright, this looks good. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes 30 seconds.
2 minutes and 30 seconds, starting now.
I'll take that 81.2 and I guess the 160.1. Also, I see that 72.0. 72 exact. 151, 145, 159. That is very close. 164.8. Thank you. One 6.4. 6.4. Got it. Locked in. 78.4. You can go lower. I've seen it. Believe me, I've seen you go lower. You're not fooling anyone. What's that thing at? Oh boy. This is gonna suck. 73.9. I've seen you go down to 72 exact. $84, 150, 162, 80.1, 71.1. That's a new low. 71.1, locked in. Okay, so anything else? 171.3. That is not as low. 164.3. You've gone higher. I've seen it. You can do better. 148.4. 75. No, you've gone lower. Alexa, stop. Okay, I guess we're rolling with these numbers. These are some interesting low ones. So 71.1 minus 166.4. Let me just write that out again. 166.4. Because see, the way I have it written out right now is it's the number 16, a crossed out 4 with a 6 above it, point, an 8 that's been crossed out, and a 4 above that. You can see why I want to rewrite some of these numbers. So 166.4, that is 95.3 divided by 2 equals 47.65. So 47.65 added on to our 71.1 is 118.75. Oh dear God. 118.6. Only divert the power that we need to making this thing move. apparently we are making them move. Like normally we'd just run a power line out here and that's how we would get our electricity. No, solar panels. Bought him off the guy at the Birdemic. He gave us a 50% discount. We are at 97, which means we should be able to get something really good this evening. We're so far we're 0 for 2 with the signal detections, and we're 1 for 2, and we're 1 for 2 on the downloads. So we'll see what happens. We nearly there. We could look at it that way. If it makes you guys feel any better. Alright, we're there. Server's up. That is 2.08. Gotcha. We can move by a factor of 4. Good. Oh, sound. Minimum 21 on this one, but it might be lower. There might just be a number that it didn't bother to pop up right at that very moment. Jeez. Times. Clocks. The world would be a better place if nobody knew what time it is. Good thing, no schedules. $54. $58. 62 after that. Hey, I'm gonna keep looking. Huh. Rain. Blah. There it is. What the fuck is that? That's not natural. That is a signal. Like someone is broadcasting to us. Oh boy. Okay, that's super creepy, so make it stop. Okay, so at this point, we just want to keep an eye on the probably just the thunder. At this point, we just want to keep an eye on the server status and just make sure we don't get any errors. Then run out and fix whatever's broken. Well, we're 3 for 3 on the detection. Done. Okay. %. I don't want to shut down any of these. Might interrupt it. Okay. You guys excuse me. Oh, shit. I was just gonna get up to get a blanket. Which one's broken? Antenna 2. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm good now. What the fuck is going on with antenna 2? Exit, please. Disconnect. I'll go out there, even though I don't want to. This is creepy. It's dark and I can't see shite. Feels like I'm playing Slender the 8 Pages. Which, oddly enough, I think was also built in... Why is the door open? Well, there's the first problem. Diagnostics. Reboot. All done. Why is it always server 2? What the hell is going on with it? Maybe it's luring me out here for a reason. Maybe there's something I'm supposed to find on the antenna. Okay, when it turns day next, and we're not busy, I'll run out here and have a look around. Right now, though, we're busy. Also, it's dark. I can't see shit. Okay. I'm pretty sure those things back there are just cosmetic. Everything's running at peak efficiency now. That's good. 80% on the download. 1,000 megabytes worth of data. Let's get this figured out. $87, 88. I could probably put this paper away. I'm done for the night. I have other things I want to do after this. This was just an experiment. Okay, for a second there I thought it was done. Or it stopped. It's just like, what is that? It's like they're trying to get... Oh! Hey, we got it! It was 1,200 megabytes worth of data, too, so big. Real big. Converting to binary. You convert. Binary. Let me know how it turns out. There it is. We have trouble. The being is in the vents. What? Excuse me, what? Oh boy. We have a vent. I'm just gonna turn this off. That'll do it for Signal Simulator, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there are signals, but I don't think we were meant to receive these. Oh boy. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video, where hopefully a thing doesn't jump out of the vents and attack us while we're trying to get work done.